The mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake.
Rabindranath Tagore said, "We have come to this world to accept it, not merely to know it. We may become powerful by knowledge, but we attain fullness by sympathy. The highest education is that which does not merely give us education, but makes our life in harmony with all existence." But we find that this education of sympathy is not only systematically ignored in schools, but is severely repressed. From our very childhood, habits are formed and knowledge is imparted in such a manner that our life is weaned away from nature, and our mind and the world are set in opposition from the beginning of our days. In Tagore's philosophy of education, the aesthetic development of the senses was as important as the intellect, if not more so, and music, literature, art, dance and drama were given great prominence in the daily life of the school. This was particularly so after the first decade of the school. Drawing on his home life, Rabindranath tried to create an atmosphere in which the arts would become instinctive. One of the first areas to be emphasized was music. Rabindranath Tagore bitterly criticized the defects of British philosophy of education. He criticized Western educational approach in India, for its aims and means were against Indian national interest, and thus presented educational philosophies. The questions to which Tagore devoted himself were, what is the aim of education, and how are we to achieve it? The aim of education, as Rabindranath Tagore sees it, is to give one a sense of one's identity as a total man and to bring education in harmony with life. It is self-realization. He believed that this realization was the goal of education. A total man is the one who thinks of himself first and foremost as human being. What matters to him is not his birth and social status. What crucially matters to him rather is the conviction that he is above all a man, irrespective of his socio-economic placing, of his caste, creed, and religion. The educator creates an environment in which the personality of the student undergoes a free, perfect, and unrestricted development.